everyone. It's just like it never happened. I hope. So I'm going to just restart that old broadcast. We'll just delete it so no one is confused. We'll take care of that after the show. Hopefully this connection is clear. Happy Wednesday, Beadshop Live, November 22nd. It looks like you all are jumping back on. So apologies for the the fuzziness, but it's always better to just come in. If it's bad, go out, come back in. We're going to do it. So cheers. Here's a glass of my coffee. Let's get down to it. Okay. Let me add these guys here and let's take a look. Okay. What we've got going on here. So we talked a little bit about these brand new component parts that we just got in from Nunn Design. And these, like I was telling you before, we did some measurements. All of the measurements are on the website. You can find them with all of the different components. I did want to tell you that they are a nice thick component. This is 1.5 millimeters, right? This one, I think the small hammered, it's a little bit larger. It's almost 2 millimeters, right? So these are all really nice, really sturdy, great to make earrings out of, all kinds of cool stuff. But today, so you can find them now since they just launched, but if you're watching this later, right now you can find them in our Just In collection, but you can also find them on our website under components. You'll find them there and you're able to sort by different criteria. And so you can sort them and find all the different components and stuff that we carry. So that's great. The Just In, thank you, Emily, for that little tip. You always go to the Just In whenever you log on to beadshop.com. It's great. It does show you a listing of everything that's new. So that is a good way to begin your shopping day. Okay. A nice tip, Audrey, from your settings on YouTube, because we do stream in the 1080 pixel. You can jump in and update your picture quality when you're watching it. That's a great tip as well. So today's piece, I'm calling Nanette. And if you read your newsletter this morning, you saw that Nanette is the name of Alexander Calder's mother. And as you know, I am a big Calder fan. And wire, Alexander Calder did a lot of cool stuff with wire. Made a lot of really great wire jewelry. So when Dree and I were scrambling around yesterday trying to figure out what the name was for this piece, I was like, what's Calder's mom's name? And her name is Nanette. So we named this piece after her. Some of you may have seen this piece. I made it a few retreats ago and finished it a few retreats ago. There's a nod to Emily in here with the pre-made wire, or the handcrafted wire bullion that I made there. So watch Emily's show from last Friday to get the technique for this. I made this hook clasp here. And I'll show you how to do that sometime. I might even show you today. We'll see. It's pretty simple to do. And also, this might have been from the very first retreat that we did. I did these wire wrapped beads here with some thin gauge sheet. And then, pardon me, I actually made these components. I soldered these. Okay. So the cool thing about this is that these Nunn ovals are a super great dupe for the ones that I made here. And so there's smaller ones, there's larger ones, there's rings. So I thought this would be a really fun technique to share with you. I know Emily does this too. This is a signature Emily uh, technique as well. And she showed some of you this kind of feeling when she did her pearl earrings this past week. Kind of similar, right? They all kind of work together. And let me show you how this looks. Oh, Drea just got her package. Drea, I want you to enjoy it. Drea is an excellent cookie decorator, right? So I saw this kit and I thought, who else am I going to get this for? She could make this her very own self, right? But I hope, Drea, that it didn't break too much in transit. But I hope you like it. Ardria is a little under the weather, so we're sending healing vibes to Ardria. But I'm glad you like it. Hooray. Yay. So let me take all of this business off here. Yeah, I know, Drea. I knew it. Hopefully they didn't break. If they did, you can use icing to put it back together. I don't know. Have fun with it. I'm like, I wanted it, but I'm all, Drea should have it. So here is the necklace on. Can you see that? So part of it is, let me see if I can unhook it. Part of it, I don't even know where the hook is. Can I feel it? Let me not look. If I look at the broadcast, I go all backwards, right? So you can see, here's the necklace. So I've done some stringing here, string. I put in like some large beads or whatever. I made these. I'm going to show you how to do these someday. We did them at the retreat. They were really fun. This is a signature Kate Richburg right here. These metal beads, these folded beads. And then it goes here into these components. Now, I want you to notice, since I soldered these together like a chain, okay? These are individual components, right? So we're going to have to wire wrap these together. This is liver of sulfur, Melanie. All of this is antiqued with the LOS, the liver of sulfur here. And it was all antiqued post-make. So I embellished all of these and then dipped them in the liver of sulfur and then polished them with a pro polish pad. Okay. So, so I just went for it and it's a real, kind of a luscious piece, right? I think it has a lot of, I don't know, gravity to it. I don't know. I love it. As I hug it, I'm looking at myself going, yeah, you can stop hugging it. Okay. So let's take a look and see how we might recreate it. Oh, these were the earrings that I was wearing. Remember when we had all these beautiful carved stones? We just got a restock of these. I literally just got them yesterday. So they're going to go to our fulfillment center. So you folks will see these in stock next week sometime. Okay? Like this. Oh, Tria, I hope that it didn't get broken or anything when it came. So, I'm so glad. I hope it gives you some joy. It's such a bummer to be ill during a holiday week, but I hope it makes you smile. You can watch this show that I did a while back when we first got these carved stones in. We're going to they're all being restocked. Here's my collection here because, that's my story. So you can recreate these. I love them. This earring's called Tutti Frutti. I think it was a nod to the Cartier Tutti Frutti collection. And BT Dub, when we went to Vegas a couple of weeks ago, I swanned into Cartier because, Why not? And I tried on, I don't know, it was a $50,000 bracelet, maybe. Christine, who was there, she took photos of it. I'll get the photos from Christine so you can take a look. The people at Cartier were so nice. I tried on so much jewelry. It wasn't even funny. But it was great. I'll post the photos because dang, that was really fun. Christine has the photos. I'll get them. But these are my Cartier Tutti Frutti that I made. Cartier, Emily, totally like you do. I'm going in. I mean, it's Vegas, right? What are they going to do? Right? It was so fun. Billy Idol and Cartier. Okay. So let's get to it. So here is, I want to, this is a comment here, making my own elongated ovals with cold connections because you've not perfected soldering. Don't you worry. Yes, the nun design is kind of a help, but I promise after the beginning of the year, we're going to be doing some soldering, my friends, because we're going to be soldering some good stuff. Yeah, Dria's on the mend. Bronchitis, tiny touch of pneumonia. She had a little COVID bout, but our Drea is bouncing back. Thankfully, we couldn't do it without Drea. You know that. Couldn't do it without any of all you and Emily and her. What do I want to say? I wanted to say her quiet storm of demoing. Couldn't do it. Anyway, so I'm just going to jump in, right, and make some pieces. That's how I did this piece when I did it at the retreat. I started embellishing these pieces. I started making these. And what spoke to me were pearls, right? Because I love the juxtaposition of the antiqued copper and the pearls together. Okay. So I grabbed a strand of pearls. We have a ton of pearls at Beadshop. You probably have pearls in your stash that you've gotten from us. I am going to, when we go to Tucson in February, I'm going to stock up on a bunch of pearls for you folks. So I'm just going to get whatever moves me. I'm going to start with this one, this big. The ones that I have in this piece here are about the size of this oval, but I'm going to go for a say something one. And I want to show you some different types of weaving that I did. Let's just take a look. Let me zoom in a little bit. This is where I start to get, do you get that? Like that excitement, that fluttery feeling. You're like, oh my gosh, I need to show you all of this right now. That's where I'm at. But anyway, here's this long oval. And can you see? I've just wrapped a little pearl nugget there. And then I've woven in between, woven, and then wrapped again like that, right? This round circle, I just started wrapping. I don't even know where I started wrapping. I can't even tell. Wrapped about 4 wraps, then added a small pearl, a few more, another pearl, right? This one, I got one of my big pearls and I wire wrapped it to connect these two. I'll show you that because there's something, it's not super special about this, but it's a little special. This one I love. I'm in love with this. This is a Delica, my friends, a size 11 Delica that's just lashed or wrapped around the edge of this. We'll do this one. Then there's more variations on a theme, right? Small pearls, bigger pearls, some wrapping over here, juxtaposed over there, right? This is a ring that I made. If you go to my Kate Richburg channel, my Kate Richburg YouTube, not the Beadshop one, where I have a lot of my soldering classes and stuff, I think I demo this somewhere. This is square wire that I've twisted. I'll do it for you folks as well. But this is square wire that I twist. I make rings out of this. I use heavy gauge, like 12 gauge square, 14 gauge square, and I make cuffs and bangles and stuff. But I also do this and make these into loops and rings. It's a lot of fun. Couldn't be easier for this. And then this one has hematite. These are actually hematite from my own collection, but we have 4mm fire polish in the hematite that's gorgeous, right? So these are a lot of fun to create. And then what I did here, I did a little figure eight. I'll make one of those for you, a little figure eight. You've seen me do this before, a little figure eight component. Then I made Emily's bullion, and then I just started knotting these pearls. And then I added these beads that I made. You could add, anything that's kind of fancy here, right? You could, some of the carved pieces that we have, anything, right? And I just added them in. This wired piece, I had a nice big juicy pearl like this in my collection. So when I made this and wire wrapped it, I put a pearl in there too. So, just the thing is, don't sweat this too much, right? Just kind of let it evolve. So let's start evolving. I love this. I can't see who's commenting this because you're probably watching in the group. But yes, similar to the kick-ass shoe flutter, you have to wear them around the house immediately, even though you are in pajamas. Right? I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Let me see if I can get this a little more, there we go. Sorry, my hands are back to looking like metalsmith hands. I might go get a manicure eventually, but my nice nails only lasted so long. Right? Okay. Wire. 24 gauge. 22 gauge. 18 gauge in bare copper. 26 gauge. This is all antique copper here. I got the 18 gauge in the bare copper, just, I don't know, to have a little bit of a different, I like to kind of mix the colors there. 18 gauge is great. You could also use some 16 gauge to make some components, but this is what I grabbed. Okay, I'm going to start with, what do you suppose this is? This, I think, is 24 gauge. I'm going to start with this, this component right here. So I went into my seed bead stash and I got these delicas. They're the cut delicas. It's the DBC 0012. I think this is the raspberry color. So you could also use the regular delica, but these are the cuts. Can you see? They're kind of shiny. Then, as a nod to Emily, because I knew she was watching today, Emily's favorite, one of her favorites, it's the 11-aught, the platinum, I think, or nickel plated. It's the 11-190 is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to cut some, I need to get tools. They're sitting behind me on the wall. Let me grab that. I need a round nose. I need a cutter, chain nose. I'm going to use that nice new cutter that we've got. I'll get my 6-step. I'll get my chisel nose for fun. I'll get my other bent chain and my round nose. Okay. This round nose. Okay. You don't need all of these pliers. 190 is nickel. Thank you. Yes. So here's all the tools and Drea's doing the list as we go. The collection's called Nanette. Here's that wire cutter, that new one that we have from Xuron that has the catch. so your wire doesn't go flying all over the place. So it hangs onto your wire. I'm going to use my tray. This is about 14, 15 inches. I'm going to cut that. Now watch, when I cut this with this wire cutter, it has the retaining clip. Whoops, I had it go on the wrong side. It was already connected. So see, when I cut it like this, see how it grabs onto your wire and doesn't send it flying. Okay. So I'm going to cut some of that 24 gauge. I'm also going to use my 90 degree, the Xeron 90 degree that I just adore. Has nice tapered ends. You can see I also have the bent chain at a 45 degree. I have that at the ready. I have my round and my regular chain. I've got the chisel nose that we got in. Really great for opening and closing jump rings, these two together. And I also have my 6-step round nose. Okay, we're going to play with that. But let me just start by coming in with this round. And I'm going to start over here kind of on the side, and I'm going to just wind it around. Okay, like that. Let me get a little tighter here. This teardrop is the, don't know, I'll tell you. It's the 27 millimeter. And then the small one is 20 millimeter. Okay. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Here it is. Let me wrap this around. See, now I'm wrapping the tail around just a little bit more. Coming in with this bent chain, I'm going to try and keep myself in frame here for you. And folks, thank you for bearing with me with the little technical difficulties we had in earlier. This is going to be so much better with the replay, to have a fresh stream rather than having to try and fix all of the technical glitches from the other one. So I really appreciate it. So see here, I've done like 3 wrap, wrap, wrap. All right. So now I'm going to add my Delica. And I think I'm going to stack 2 because the cuts are like a little smaller. So I'm going to do this, bring those cuts in. I'm going to sit it around. Oh, take a look and see here. I did this so long ago. Bear with me here just a second. Okay. I'm going to sit these close to kind of the edge. And I'm going to wrap them around. Let me look at this a little bit closer. You know, when I did this so long ago. You know what I think I did here? That was pretty smart of me. I think what I did, I'm going to show you. I'm going to wrap, and then I'm going to test this out. I think I wrapped first, so let's wrap it. I want to get rid of this. Sorry, my voice is going too. Everything's going today, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm going to clip that. Pull this back. I'm going to straighten this out. Okay. So here's this. Let me do that. Now I'm going to get a 26 gauge. This is what I think I did. I don't know. It's been years, but this is how I do it now. Because I want you to have, see this nice edge of the, this nice edge of the seed beads here, right? And I think what I did was I wove them. I put them on a wire, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put a bunch, some anyway. And I won't wrap the whole thing. I wanted you to get the gist of what's happening here. I'm going to do 2, 4, 6. I want to do 6 of these. I want to do 1 of the nickel silver. And then I'll go back to this pattern. 2 of these. Okay. So now I'm going to take this 26 gauge that I've got here, that these delicas are going on to, and I'm going to wrap it around this right here. Just around, see, right where I originally wrapped. Once, twice. Did I get 26 gauge? Well, if I didn't, it doesn't really matter. I think I meant to pick up 26, but I think I actually picked up 24. But it doesn't matter, really. Okay, now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to line these suckers up. I'm going to put these 2 beads. Can you see it here? 2 beads. I'm going to get this end of this wire. I'm going to come through and I'm going to kind of stitch it on. You could wrap them on the wire, but to be honest, I think I'm going to do this singly. I think it looks better. See, now I've got a little kink there. And this wire, I think, is too long for me to deal with. So I'm going to cut a little bit of it away, this wrapping wire, because I can easily add wrapping wire later. Let me cut some of that off. Okay, so see, I've pulled these 2. I'm going to go through again, stitch around the side. I should have had a super high contrast seed bead there, but I don't. 1 seed bead. Stitch it around. Yeah, there we go. Slide a seed bead in. See what I'm getting there? Slide it around. So essentially you're lashing your little wire that has the seed beads on it around the edge of your component. I'm going to do this just a few more and then I'll show you what they look like, okay? These shorter pieces of wire, my friends, much easier to work with. So I said before about 14 inches. That was a lie, complete lie. About half of that, maybe about 7 inches. It's pretty easy to add wire because you're just wrapping it around the edge. Now I'm putting in one of those nickel. I taught yesterday. I was with, part of the day I was with my quilt group. And we did, I just automatically go into teacher mode. So it was a lot of fun. We worked on quite a few fun projects. My mom also does a lot of teaching with that group. They made some beautiful table runners, some really beautiful things. There we go. Just nice and tight. Use the edge of this component to kind of help you pull and straighten the wire. So see, here goes this one. We're going to go around the curve, put the wire around. Let me, oh, thank you, Curtis. I hope you folks can see it. That's maybe a little bit better. It's such close work, tiny work here. But it looks different than just wrapping the beads on the top of the component. And I should have examined it a little more closely before I did it, but you know me in my cavalier state, I'm like, oh, I can do that. And then I have to check myself for a second. Slide that in, slide the wire around it so that wire holds it in place. I'm trying to stay in frame. And tighten. Slide this one over. Going around the curve isn't so difficult. You just kind of hold it in there. This is my left hand. I'm holding everything steady. And my right hand, or my dominant hand, I'm doing the wire wrapping. I can start using my Xuron tool. As Emily was commenting, I can use my Xuron tool to kind of pull this around and help me kind of place that wire where I want it. I think I've got one more here, and this will bring us around the bend. And then I'll show you. Then we'll take a look at it. Okay. And this amount of wire that I've left has wrapped a little under half. So, but I have a little bit left, so I should get around to about halfway. So let me just tighten this up just a hair. And then let me scoot this over. Let me get this Post-it's kind of glaring, but you can see, let me see if I have a white piece of paper. This yellow Post-it's just, yeah, here we go. And I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see it. Let me get a little tighter. See that? So see how I started here, and this is a little messy. I'm going to clean this up a bit. But I started by laying that delica right there, wrapping the wire around, lay the delica down, wrap the wire, slide another delica into place, wrap the wire to hold it in place, and just continue going. And the delicas just sit on the edge like this, rather than wrapping around. This one's just wrapped around the loop, and the beads sit on top. Okay, so let me, I'm going to neaten up this end just a bit. I'm going to take away some of this extra that is looking a little messy. Let me see if I can stay in frame. I'm going to flip this off. Tamp that down. Tighten all that in. There we go. And I'll just continue. I think the single seed bead looks best in the little channel. I was thinking, okay, yeah, I'll pull back. Thanks, Em. I was thinking about adding 2 beads per channel here, but I think that the single bead is better. And here's the one that I did in the necklace. Can you see that? So I'm going to put this one aside for the moment. Like so. Let me just get around the side of this, and I'll cut this away. Okay, so let me put that 11 on, slide it up, lash it down into place. Also, I haven't picked up any wire. in a while, so I'm glad my hands remember what to do here. There we go. Nice and tight. Going around the curves can be a little tricky, but you're the boss of that wire, so you get it in there. Let me do one more delica. Yeah, these are the cuts. These are the cut delica. So, well, it's not really a delica. It's like a cut seed bead is really what it is, but it's like a tube, like a delica. They may technically be delica cuts, but they're also an 11-aught. They're slightly smaller than the regular 11-aught delicas. I love them. I feel like I don't use them as much as I should, because sometimes, I don't know, I just forget about them or whatever. But then I see them in my bead box and I'm like, oh, holy moly, these look great. They have a real vintage flair or vintage feel to them, which, if you know me, you know that I dig that a lot. There we go. Now I'm going to use this piece of wire. Let me finish this piece of wire off. Okay, I'm going to bring it around. Make sure that that bead is sitting on the side of the component. That's the whole point of this. There we go. And then this last wrap, I want to get it in there tight. So see how these, look at how these 90-degree pliers just act like a little pair of fingers in there. There we go. And I want to pull this wire down. Nice. Cindy, I love it. Cindy just commented, thanks to Emily and I, she's overcome her fear of wire. That makes me super happy to hear. Now, I could continue and add some more wire, you know, some more beads here and continue to wrap. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end this piece and wrap it just this one a couple of times. Cut it away so it's not so long. And as I say, sometimes I use 26. I think I use 26 with this, with the other component, but I think this is 24. I can't remember. That's that. Okay. So look at how cool that component looks. I love it. So let's put that one aside. Let me get this wire out and let me zoom out just a little bit. Let me show you another trick. I'm going to do it in this one because it'll be a little bit easier for you to see. I want to do this kind of weaving business in here. Okay. And I'm going to use wire. I think I'm going to use, I guess I'm going to use 24. I was thinking about 22 there for a second, but 24 is a little more malleable and I might be able to have a little bit of a tighter wrap. This one is the turquoise Picasso Drea that I'm using with this. I like it a lot. 4mm. I had to warm up a little bit. My hands are feeling a little more limber now. This was not bad, but it wasn't my best. I'm going to come in. I'm going to bring this around. I'm going to get this in there tight to anchor the wire in there, right? Let's get my little pair of extra hands. And let's bring this all the way around. Okay, we're going to tighten it there. And I don't know, start and end where you want to. There's no hard and fast rule on this, right? I'm pressing it in so it's tight. I'm going to tighten that up. I want to say, folks, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy Wednesday, especially those of you who are prepping for the holidays here in the U.S. Spending some time together today really makes my day. I'm going to come in and I'm going to wrap. I'm going to wrap one more time. I'm going to take a 4 mil bead. You can use any 4 mil. I just grabbed these because this is what I had. And see how I'm just laying it on the top there? And then I'm going to come through. And I'm going to wrap one more time through. And I'm going to put one more bead next to it. Okay. Cindy, you're making a fig cake. You're speaking my language. We would always make those Italian, Drea, you know what they are, those Italian fig cookies that have the white frosting and the little colored sprinkles on them. We'd make those. It's that time of year. And I keep telling my mom I'm going to make fig cookies. But maybe this year. You never know. They were so good. My gran would make them every year. We'd take the figs from our tree and dry them, grind them up. And then we'd have fig cookies for the holidays. So fun. Let me see if I can slide this down. You know, I did such a good job with wrapping that it wasn't going to move. See, I know. Drea always knows. My paisan over there across the miles. Exactly. So good. Oh, here's another. Molto bene. That's awesome. I love it. You folks are much better Italians than I am. Gran would know what they were called. I don't even know if my mom knows what they're called. But yeah, the fig cookies. So good. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to weave. Let me clear my backdrop a little bit. Okay. So I'm going this way. I'm going to come over and I'm just going to weave over and under around this component for a bit. I think what I'm going to do on this side is I'm just going to put a single bead over here because I want to get a good amount of weaving. I could have started wrapping these beads maybe a little bit lower, but you know what? I like asymmetry with these. What would Calder do? He would do asymmetry, right? And I like a little bit of open space here. Okay. So I need my wire straightening plier though. Yeah, my mom. They're called my favorite cookies. It really is true. I know. And we need to make those. Here's my wire straightening plier. This really comes in handy. Here, let's straighten everything out. There we go. Continue to weave. I'm going to weave about 5 passes here. 1. And again. And I'll slow down so you can see this in just a second. Let me get just a few here so you can see what it looks like, okay? This is why I don't have fancy nails right now. Because I'm wire wrapping. It was fun, but I can never maintain nails. Not like Drea. Okay, so see what I have here. You can see how that's woven on the inside. I'm going to slide it in a little bit. Let me show you. Let me get the zoom. Can you see that there? So it looks, and you can make this, I'm going to make this a little bit longer. Let me show you the one that's in my necklace. It's a little smaller. Can you see that? It just has a single bead there, but you can really see the weaving on the inside here. So let me zoom back out so my hands aren't giant in there. Let me keep weaving. Yeah, Emily, you're going to be at the market this weekend, right? It's a big kicking off the holiday season, I believe, at the market. If you have the link to your Insta, grab it and I'll put it up. I'll put it up so if people are in Old Town Sac, they can come see you and grab some of your great pieces. You can also shop on Emily's Instagram. Always great. I'm gonna do 2 more wraps. Instead of using my nails, let's use these pliers as they were meant to be used. Look at that, how the pliers just pull in everything together. Okay. This is another great tip. I'm going to put that up on the screen about your pliers, your wire straighteners. Use an emery board to smooth them out. That's real clever. You can see there's my plier heads. We also have the replaceable heads. I'm going to show you folks how to replace those sometime. But that's a great tip. File it down or sand them down a bit. And we'll be there at the market, Midtown Farmers Market, 20th and K in Midtown Sacramento. And Emily, you'll put your Instagram up and I'll flash it on the screen so people can find your work. I have several Emily Miller pieces, including my Unbreakable Heart and my Unbreakable Shield, 2 of my favorite layering pieces. Emily makes them out of metal clay, the bronze metal clay, and they're just gorgeous. Okay, so here's this. I've woven enough here, I think, right? Now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to go under and I'm going to wrap once. See how I'm also turning the component? Now I'm getting my mojo back here. Twice. So I've got a little bit of a leader there. I'm going to put some more beads on. Let me see. Here we go. This comes on. Go through. There's Emily's Insta. She'll definitely sell right on her Insta, and she wraps everything up for you so it's ready for gift giving. I've gifted myself Emily has gifted me a few really treasured pieces that I love. There we go. So see how I'm just wrapping up just a little bit here. And now I'm going to clip away my extra and just kind of press it in. Oh, thanks, Michelle. That was Michelle's comment. No surprise there. Thank you, my friend. We're going to have a treat in the new year. Michelle's going to be coming on and doing a series of Kumihimo shows and tips and techniques. I can't wait, my friend, to work with you and gain some of that great Kumihimo knowledge straight from the source. We're really excited to have you on. These would make great earrings, right? If you got Emily's, those flat pearls, right? Look at that. I'm going to wire wrap this flat pearl. These are one of the pearl pairs. So, and I want to show you kind of that special wire wrap that I do. Here's one right here. So I'm going to connect these two pieces together. Okay. Oh, good. You're so kind to do this with us. We cannot wait to have you. So it's going to be real fun. You are a font of bead knowledge. So I'm going to come in and I'm not going to go step by step on the wire wrapping. Okay. Because you've seen me do it. We have skill builders on how to do it, right? I mean, look at it's such a mess, right? But what I want to show you when you're wire wrapping to wrap these components together, I need a nice big loop. See that? Because this pearl has to move around on this. It has to clear those beads. So let me pick up the wire I just dropped on the floor. Let me pull my stool a little closer so I don't fall off. And this is 24 gauge that I've got here, okay? I did my bend, my right angle bend. Now I'm going to come up and over, up towards like the top of this plier, like this. And then I'm going to check it just to make sure that that loop that I've made is large enough for this piece to go into. And it looks like it is. Okay, there's some movement there. Can you see that? So I'm going to just come around to the side. Let me flatten this out. This isn't. I think I may have, to be honest, this here, I may have drilled this pearl out a bit, like Emily talked about, like we talked about last year. This is, I think I reamed him out a little bit, and so I got 22 gauge through here. I don't think that 22 gauge, I can see it. I don't think 22 gauge is going to fit through this pearl, so that's why I'm choosing to use 24. It's a little smaller. But I could very carefully use that Dremel to ream it out if I wanted to. So a nice large loop here. Open that loop. Slide this component on. Close it up. Oh, did it, Em? I'm going to check the 22 gauge then, because I think I like the 22 better for that than the 24, to be completely honest. Let me see. Let me get it. Here's the 22. That's why, my friends, when you have your wire around, have a variety of wires. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Emily. Perfect. Let me get rid of this 24 gauge. It's a little thin for like the, I want it to really hold up. So let's try this again. Bend at the right angle. Up and over the top. See, it's better already. Up and over. 22 gauge is kind of my go-to, my default. If I'm wire wrapping something and I want it to be not too heavy, not too thin, and it fits through the hole of whatever I'm using. See, that's so much better. Look at that. So much better. It fits through the hole of what I'm using. That's what I'll use. I'm going to hold that there because the loop is nice and large, and I'm going to wire wrap this down. 1, 2, and 3, maybe 4, because I want kind of a longer wrap there. Okay. Yeah, Emily said it's better for the balance and it's sturdier. I agree 110. If I'm doing like maybe small, semi-precious or things like that, or things that just won't fit in the 22 gauge, then that's a different story. But if it fits onto 22, I'll use the 22. Okay, so here's this. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to bend at that right angle, up and over, down and under, nice and tight around that round nose. I'm going to slide this component in there, like so. Hold it. Now, this is where kind of the fun part happens. I'm going to wrap here like this down. Then I'm going to wrap up. So I have kind of a heavier neck, right? I'm going to go down and around. If I didn't want this wire to go down and across this pearl, I would have left a longer length down here and used that to wrap this side. But since I didn't, and I have a long length here, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to wrap up with the 22, down with the 22. And can you see here how I have a little bit of a chunkier, beefier neck that I've wrapped around? Intentionally messy, but not too messy. Okay. And I'm going to straighten this out because I think I want the wire to be nice and straight across this pearl, not crooked. I could have also added some seed beads across here, right? Like this. But yeah, this double wrap, Emily uses it too. I like it a lot, especially when you want things to look a little more sturdy, or I don't know. I like it. It has a little chunkier of a look. I'm going to press that right into there. And I want to make sure that these loops are facing the correct way, which is this way. So what I have so far looks like this. Okay? Pretty, I think, if I do say so myself. Now, as you go along, you're just going to embellish these links. Now notice, remember, these that I did here, these are ones that I did that I fabricated and I soldered these together. So remember, with these here that we have, these pre-made ones, this is a nice size. This pre-made ones, you're going to have to connect them somehow. I also have, like, look, let me just lay some of this stuff out. That, let me zoom out just a little bit, and I'm going to kind of mock this up a bit. You can use some of the fancier beads that we've got. Let me clear the decks so it looks a little cleaner. And then I'm also going to take a screenshot of this so I know what to do later. And then we'll talk about the beads and everything to make sure that Drea knows what she's using. Yes, use some fancy nun jump rings. Yes, Drea. Smarty pants. Let me get some of those. Where are they? Here they are. Let's do it. And if you didn't want to make your own clasp, look. Wait, just look at it. There we go. That one. Let me get some fancy nun jump rings here. Doubles. Yes. Team effort. T for team. Where's that big, my favorite one? Oh, here we go. Love this one, the oval, textured oval. Where is the branch one? I use it a lot. I may not have any, but let me see. You know which one I'm talking about. The big, like 12 gauger. That's so pretty. Rustle. If I don't see it, that's okay. Here's this one, the twisted one in gold. Here it is. Yes. I knew if I was persistent, I would find it. I love that one. Okay. So let's connect a couple. Okay. Let's connect a couple of rings. Emily's saying the black metal beads, those bicones. Where did I put those? No. Here, maybe. No. The ones, those brand new ones that we just used, I'll find them. That's a good idea, Em. Those little bicones are so cool looking. I'm looking. I have them put away. I put them away in a box already, but you know which ones they are. I'll get them out because I think they would be fun to add to this. Yeah, I don't see them here. I know I put them away somewhere. Where exactly is the... Yeah, they would look cool on these jump rings, 100%. Let me add these jump rings in. I'm going to use this bent chain and this chisel. Yeah, I like the drum of the deep black as well. I'm with you. I'm kind of looking around to see if I can see them. No, but they've got to be here somewhere. Here we go. These I think are like 12 gauge or something. Open those right up. Look at that. Let's do a double ring. Maybe I can use this oval. Rustle, rustle. The textured ovals are real nice. Open that up. Connect. Is this one too? I think this one might be a little big. I'm going to switch it out for this size. Yeah, this is better. Can I get it in there? Do I need to open this up just a touch more? I do. Don't force it. Get your pliers, open it up just a hair. Put it in there. Yeah, Ma, you're supposed to forget about those dishes. Here we go. Right? So can you see how you can kind of build this along? What I would do is I would embellish these first, and then I would connect them. So here's that lapis carved flower. Maybe I want the lapis carved marquee. Look at how pretty that is. Then I could add this drop. I could maybe try and do some kind of caging in there with that drop. I don't know. That would look cool. Look at how cool that looks. That would make a great earring. I just have to figure out how to engineer it. But looky. Come on now. Yes, the green onyx carved leaves, I have them, Michelle. They are coming in. They should be in next week. Back in. I haven't, they're actually sitting over here. I just got them yesterday. I love the carved leaves. I love them. I should put one of those in there. All of this carved stuff will be back in. So let me keep laying this out like this, like this. Maybe two of these rings together. That wire wrap bead in between. Then I've got some pearls like this, right? I can string this on the other side of it. I can use some of these. I've got to keep putting some of these in. So I have some of these greens. I can string a few of those with the pearls. These pearls I don't have to knot. I might do a string this on soft flex and add these nickel 11/0 as the little spacer in between. That would really be prime. And then I'll come in, I'll attach this ring, probably because that ring is real big. I'll attach it here. I'll make some handmade bullion and maybe attach it to that ring. Let's see if these two rings fit together. They do. Look at that. So you picking up what I'm putting down there? Right? So I'm going to play around with this. We'll get it up on the front end on the website, but essentially this is the 4mm dark turquoise Picasso. These nice beads come in pairs, so I've got another one here that maybe I'll put this in the middle like this, maybe down here, right? I'm going to wire wrap these two together, or I could wire wrap that maybe inside. I don't know. We'll see what I want to do. Wrap some more stuff around like we've got here. It's going to go to this clasp, and then I'll string this like I did with the handmade bullion here, like that. That handmade bullion is going to go here around that ring. So yeah, this is the time. This is the time to screenshot this. I'm going to screenshot this. Hopefully my screen won't go blank. If it does, there we go. I got it right here. That's good to know. Cindy, need for more cool chain. I'm going to look. We do have chain on the brain, to be honest. So yeah, probably after the first of the year, probably in spring launches. Let me put this next to this so you can kind of see it. This is a good time to screenshot as well. Let me turn it over. Some big pearls here. 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 of this size ring. 1, 2, 3, 4 of maybe this size. I don't have anything quite this large, but you got the idea. So the length, this is a good necklace. It was kind of inspired. It took me like 2 years to finish it, but I'm so glad I did. This section is about 1 foot. Okay, and then the pearls, I think I just strung it. This section, about 30 inches or so. So add or take away from the pearl side. Okay. Is there anything I'm missing? Oh, this little figure 8. Let me cut some 18 gauge. I just want to show you this real quick. Here's 18 gauge, maybe about a little less than 3 inches. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to straighten it out. Get my round plier. I'm going to use a 6-step this time because I want the loops to be kind of big. So I'm going to go around here like this one. Just make that loop. And then I can come in like around this one. Loop that around. That was this size. Clip it. I could do this with 18 or with 16 gauge. So see, I've got that figure 8. And then I'll get my bench block and my chasing hammer. And I'll just give this light taps See how I'm tapping along the top of that loop? You can also hold your fingers off the edge. When I hammer, I always strike with the hammer in the same place and move the component around. So I'm not moving the hammer around to accidentally strike my fingers. So see how I've left part of this round and part of it's flat? I can come in. Open that up. If I feel like this is a little long, which I do, it's just like a touch long, I'm just going to cut it. That's better. That hammering also work hardens it so it stays closed. And then that would connect to whatever it'll connect to. I could also do a little bit of wire wrapping in there. Wire wrapper. Okay. This is called a chasing hammer because traditionally in metal smithing, chasing is the technique of taking like a metal punch, long metal punch, tapping it and moving it along to create patterns in a piece of metal sheet, which is called chasing. So this is that specific hammer for chasing, but I also use this for flattening as well. Okay. All righty, my friends, I hope this is helpful. I'm going to try and pull all of this together into some semblance of order and finish piece. But what I want you to take away from this is to be inventive, right? Being as inventive and creative as you can with this. Okay. Dria's created a list. I kind of love the way that looks. Dria's created a list. I don't have any jewelry or anything on anymore for you. It's under Nanette. I will finish this up and pull it together for you. But I'm telling you, friends, you don't need my necklace as a guideline. I want you to play around with these components and techniques and create. See, here it is. It can go around like this, right? So it could be longer and shorter like this. This would look cool, right? So whatever floats your boat, right? I want you to kind of play around with it and see what you like. Bear with me here just a second because I want to look something up before I go. Bear with me here. I want to check the schedule for next week. So this Friday, friends, we're going to be off from like this afternoon. Drea better stop working. We're going to be off from this afternoon. It's the day before Thanksgiving, if you're watching this live on Wednesday, November 22nd. We'll be back in office on Monday. Drea's not going to look at emails. She might look at emails, but officially she's not looking at emails. Yeah, Drea, awesome. Let's be real. I already stopped. Perfect. So if you have questions and stuff, my friends, we're going to get back to you on Monday. We're going to take a really good time off, rest. We'll be back on Monday. Wednesday, thanks to our buddy Faye, who made such a beautiful piece, earrings. Drea has created some with new hoops that we're launching next week, beaded around them. You're not going to want to miss these. Drea, I hope you're coming on with me on Wednesday. I hope you are, because, they're your earrings. And then the end of next week, we have something we've never done before. We have an ornament kit coming in a very bead shop manner. Yeah, if you're not better. If you're not better, Drea, I'll go on and do it, but we'll make it happen, right? So happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Just a reminder, remember, you can find us on all of our socials, Facebook, Insta, Pinterest. Hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube so you never miss any of our content. Help us with those algorithms to like and share and send people our way, because word of mouth from you fine folks make it possible for us to do what we love, which is spreading creativity for you folks through the medium of beads. Happy Thanksgiving. Janice sends her best. She's sorry she couldn't be here today, but she'll be back with us next week. Thank you, Emily, for pinch hitting for her, and thank all of you for being here. I will not be here Friday for Free Tip Friday. We're taking that day off, but we'll be back next week. Thank you all. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you all, and happy Thursday to the rest of our friends around the globe. Thanks all. We're thankful for you. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.